in just 18 days. 3 days from now, we'll start early vote. 18 days from now, we are going to decide for the first time in 14 years on a new governor. For the first time in 14 years. And depending on the outcome of this election, our state is going to go in two dramatically different directions. And when we put the face on those two directions, as Dean Whitmire would ask us to do, the stakes could not be higher. When you look at the Republican Party platform that passed a few months ago in my hometown of Fort Worth, it is shocking. It is shocking what they were willing to put into words on a piece of paper and stand behind. And their candidates have to sign a pledge that they're going to support this platform. Their platform literally calls what we've all seen happening, but I couldn't believe they actually admitted it was one of their priorities, to continue the defunding of public education at every single level, from PK, K through 12, and the public university system. And we know what that's about. We know what that's about. And we know who that leaves behind. And we know why they're up to that, right? We know why. Their platform calls for not only not increasing the minimum wage, but repealing the minimum wage altogether. We know what that's about. We know who that impacts, right? Their platform called for the repeal, we know they've been up to it bit by bit by bit, called for the repeal of the Voting Rights Act. It's the 50th anniversary of the passage of the Civil Rights Act. And I feel, and I hope you do too, a special obligation to the work of the people that fought, the giants of history that fought for that passage. That Voting Rights Act passed that next year, and we know the power that came with that. And we've watched it slipping away bit by bit by bit. Let's undereducate our communities. Let's take away their rights to vote. Let's silence the voices who we know are going to overwhelm those who are in power today. Well, we are not going to be silenced. We are not. And I hope we all feel that righteous indignation that we ought to own deep in our guts about what we know is going on here. There's an attempt to leave a massive group of people behind and to never look back. Never. And now is our time. Now is our time. We haven't had an opportunity to win a statewide race in this state for a Democrat since Ann Richards. We have not had an opportunity like the one that's in front of us right now. And it may be a while before we get that opportunity again. There's so much at stake. Our children's education is at stake. I'm running against someone who is in court still today fighting to keep that $5.5 billion in cuts to our schools. I'm running against someone who said he will veto an equal pay for equal work bill, Bishop. I'm running against someone who said that he is not in favor of increasing the minimum wage. I'm running against someone who is in court right now, in the Supreme Court today, fighting to keep voter ID in place, voter ID that the lower court judge called the modern day version of the poll tax, because that's exactly what it is. And I'm running against someone who is fighting to keep in place a closure of women's reproductive health centers in this state in a way that endangers, without a doubt, the health of women across the state of Texas. there is so much at stake, and we cannot afford to sit back and not make a change. We are going to make a change. Harris County has shown us already, Chairman Lewis, because of your incredible work, that we are going to make a change in this election. We've got a historic number of mail-in ballots that have been requested and are being returned. For the first time in a gubernatorial election year in decades, this state saw an increase in voter registration. Normally it sees a decrease. Between 2010, when Mayor White ran for governor, and today, we have 5.7% increase in voter registration. That's huge. It's a game changer. It's how we're going to win. And we also know, and I know you feel it in your communities and your churches and your schools, people are excited about this race. People have hope. They believe, and belief moves us up off the sofa to go out and vote and make a difference. And let's all please take advantage of the role that we can play, the responsibility that we have to move every person we know off of that sofa to go and vote starting on Monday. And when we do that, and I truly believe that we will win this race because I know we're going to do that, I want everyone in this room to visualize a moment, the Texas that you are helping to create. I want you to think about Sylvester Turner's father, who was a yard man, and his mother, who was a maid. Sylvester Turner graduated from Harvard Law School. He is a leader in this state. I believe he's soon to become a leader of this community. But let's think about that same story and making sure that it can be told for every child in our state, that no matter who you are or how humble your background, you can become whatever you dream, because you're going to have a state that believes in partnering with you. I want you to own the role you are going to play in creating that state. I want you to own the fact that right now there is a woman who's being paid 69 cents working next to an Anglo man who's making $1 doing the exact same work. I want you to own the fact that we are going to empower her and her family to be able to provide better for a future and an opportunity for themselves. I want you to own the fact that in this state, we will increase the minimum wage to $10.10. We will provide families an ability to take care of themselves. And I want you to own the fact that no more stories like the one Sylvester just told. No more stories where people literally have to choose between continuing to work and having the ability to get medical care. No more stories, because we are going to do the right thing in this state. We are going to stop spiting our president, and we are going to bring $100 billion of Medicaid expansion money to the state of Texas. We know who we are. We know what we're capable of. And I will put my money on us, our enthusiasm, our hearts, our minds, our guts, our motivation, any day of the week over what we've got on the other side of that aisle right now. And I trust and believe, and I cannot thank you enough for being a part of helping to create a community that believes for the first time in a long time that we are going to make a difference in this state, and we are. God bless you all. Thank you so very, very much.